I was watching half of that. This journey of discovery.
If you wanted my phone, you could take it. If you wanted my phone to watch it, you can take it. I know what we're talking about now. Don't you quit peeking, little nosy sound.
All right.
You stink, and you better not piss and shit on your mama.
I'm gonna go ahead and post it to everything.
Get off my foot.
We live, LadiiNova.
Oh, can I say it? But I say it now. So. Little girl won't get out of my way. She's annoying. I should have got my snacks. I did not.
Told the bus
Too late now.
Bust like a kid.
Like what? Trey, what are you saying?
Oh,
and I don't know, but I like the beat.
Girl, you didn't even hit no beats.
I ain't even had no beat.
The imaginary beat.
I'm over here looking like bedtime.
And it. This girl got on the wrap, the shirt, the glasses, and in bed.
This is what 25 look like for me because I am lazy. I don't like doing stuff.
It ain't even 7 o'clock yet.
Right.
It's not. It's definitely almost 6 o'clock here.
Oh yeah. See, girl.
Listen, this time change screwed me up. I don't know what be going on. Now I be getting up at 7 o'clock. Like I ain't got something to do. And I don't.
They trying to cheer him.
What is vibrating? Oh, friend, I had win this.
What is that?
A little ring light you clip to your phone. I win it at the arcade. It was like 300 points. I was so proud of me.
I'm proud of
okay. I'm about to go ahead and start this.
Let's share
it. It's well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here. If you're an immigrant, you don't have to worry if the president's going to be happier to have babies snatched away or send dreamers back for no reason. This is vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered. You know, the I can't breathe. You know, that wasn't just George Floyd. That was a lot of people that felt that they couldn't breathe. Every day you're waking up and you're getting these tweets and you just don't know, and you're going to the store and people who have been afraid to show their racism are getting nastier and nastier to you, and you're worried about your kids and you're worried about your sister. And can she just go to Walmart and get back into her car without somebody saying something to her? And you spent so much of your life energy just trying to hold it together. And this is a big deal for us just to be able to get some peace and have a chance for a reset. And the character of the country matters. And being a good man matters. You know, I just want my sons to look at this. Look at this. You know, it's easy to do it the cheap way and get away with stuff, but it comes back around. It comes back around. And this is a good day for this country. I'm sorry for the people who lost. For them, it's not a good day. But for a whole lot of people, it's a good day.
So who wants to speak on that first?
First of all, let me say that I am so happy that now here in 2020 that we are a part of history. Y'all, like, literally, like, so much has changed this year as far as like the amount of people who are more educated with voting, and now the fact that we have not even just not besides Georgia becoming a whole Democratic state now, we now have our first female and African American vice president. Y'all, that is history.
Clap it up for her.
That's history.
Deal.
Kamala.
Exactly.
It is pronounced Kamala, y'all. Kamala and then Ella, L-A. So Harris, yes. So I'm just like, y'all, like this year has just been, and it's crazy because I was just talking, well, me and Cassondra talking about this over the weekend, that this is going to be legit in our grandchildren's history books. So we are like in a time where this is going to be like an historic time for us as a nation. And now actually going to the video, it was so emotional, and I like, of course, see myself a little bit 50 years from now, maybe. Yeah, in that position, only because you never know what's going to happen 50 years from now when like so many presidents after this one could possibly like change the country even more. I mean, hope God willing we don't end up in the position that we were 4 years ago. But yeah, so I'm just like watching that just made my heart sing, because it's like sooner or later I'll be having children and being able to tell them that, hey, I lived when we had our first Black president, our first Black and female vice president. So that's stuff that I can share to my children and my grandchildren, so on and so forth. But that's my input on it. It just was very heartfelt, and I'm just happy that we've all been coming together for this dramatic but yet useful, beneficial change in the world.
Mm-hmm. I do love that President Trump is gone. I do. However, I appreciate the fact that he was in office only because he was so racist. Like, he was just not a great person. You know what I'm saying? And that brought out so many like low-key or undercover racist people. You know what I'm saying? So many people I thought were quote unquote friends. So many of my coworkers who we talk, on an everyday basis, or, associates we would, like legit have conversations with. So when Trump came out, it just was like, it gave them more confidence and comfort to be their true self. And of course, like I said, I don't like Trump, but I do appreciate that he came out, because so did everybody else. So, and we definitely are no longer Facebook friends. Me and a few people, coworkers at work, I don't want to talk to you. It's high and by, and not purely because he's a Republican. I don't care. You could be a Republican, you could be atheist, whatever. It's Trump himself. It's because he doesn't support me. So to have a so-called friend support somebody that doesn't support me, in turn, you don't support me, and we can't be friends. Sorry. So yeah, all that to say, I'm glad he out, but I do appreciate him being there.
This whole thing was a lot. Like, I remember when President Obama got in there, I was too young to vote, but I was ecstatic. I remember when Trump got into office, because sadly that was my 21st birthday. And I was like, my God, what a time I got to live in. I mean, if I wasn't already drinking, I would have drank my life away that day. I was not trying to go to class. A lot of the teachers was pissed. And I was like, you know what? I don't even feel like teaching. Like, just go home. I said, that is fine by me. As far as this one goes, I don't know if you're on my page. I don't know if you know me outside of Facebook, social media. If you did not vote, don't say nothing to me. Mm-hmm. No, I did not have to show y'all my little ticket to say that I vote, but I did do it. A lot of people got something to say about what happened and did nothing. They did not encourage other people to go vote. They did not go vote. And it's just like, I didn't want him and I didn't like him for this reason. Somebody said it on TikTok. They was like, if you're going to vote, why would you vote for Biden over Trump or vice versa? And he was like, a lot of people don't like everything that Biden does, but would you rather have somebody bad or worse? I think I'm going to take that. That's just plain and simple. And like you said, Trump brought out all the racist people. He himself said things that belittled women, belittled every other race, people who did not have money, and these people so blindly followed him. And it's like, what the hell? Do you realize nothing he's saying up there has anything to do with you just because you're white? That's not how that works. Like, you're just as screwed as the next person. So what Mr. James was saying in that video, I'm not gonna lie, I got beside myself over the years because it's like I didn't think I would ever live to see stuff that our grandparents went through or witness some of the stuff, like all these killings, and witness all the racist people like we have done, because I'm like, oh, that's something our ancestors dealt with, they fought for, it's somewhat over and done. I didn't think I would have to see that. I didn't think I would have to, like he said, be worried that I go to the store and have to be worried about somebody calling me out my name just because of how I look and my skin tone, worrying about if Tre'Dub or any of you or my brother would make it home safe just because he decides to wear a hoodie or because he has a beard or whatever. I didn't think I would have to live in a time like that. So for all of these people to come out and just feel comfortable was crazy. But I do like that the people of this generation, once it came out, it's like, all right, let's go ahead and put them on blast, because guess what? You're about to lose your job. We don't want to hear whatever little apology you got. I'm sorry, and it was just a bad day, and this is really reflecting on my life. You opened your mouth. You clearly didn't want your job. You didn't care about nobody else, so I don't care about you. Take that apology and shove it up your tail. I don't know who's watching. I can't see who's on live, so choose my words wisely. So no, I don't care. So it is. It's like whatever at this point. I'm very ecstatic. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw Georgia go blue, I said, "Wait a minute now, hold up, what just happened?" I said, when I went to bed, y'all was good aim rate, and they was like, "So let's go ahead and change this color ASAP." I don't know who working in Nevada, but I'm gonna need y'all to get some deacons and mothers on y'all team because it should not take that long to count.
Okay.
I think that also goes to show when people say your vote doesn't count anyway, that goes to prove them wrong, because he literally wanted them to stop the count, which wouldn't have been in his favor, but neither here nor there, to stop the count so that he could potentially win. And you had
I think Biden had like over 3,000 votes above him than what they originally had. He said like, oh, it's just like by a little bit, and when they recounted, it was like, nah, Shawty, he got like 4,000 or 5,000 more votes than you thought.
I understood what Trey and Cassondra were saying about Trump kind of making people more blatant and overt with their racism. I get that, but I also disagree. Respectfully disagree, because he made people so comfortable, much like Van Jones said, you then had to face it like head on. I know for me personally, yes, I've seen racism happen, and yes, I have. It hasn't been directed towards me specifically, but it's happened around me, like in college, I would say. Moving to Tennessee within this year of working in Knoxville, where it's predominantly white, I have dealt with a lot of nasty and hateful comments simply based on the fact that I'm Black. I mean, I've had parents say that they don't want me to be their child's therapist because I'm Black. I've had monkey emojis sent to my phone. I've been threatened to be beat up. Everything under the sun, pretty much. And I know it's because having someone who's supposed to be the leader showed everyone, hey, you can show your tail and that's okay. He taught people that you don't have to have any kind of decorum. It doesn't matter what setting you're in. Say what you want to say to people. So that piece of it I was not comfortable with. And it does make it hard to do your job. I mean, I'm in a work of service. So it's really hard to provide a service for someone or to help someone who's threatening you or who you know you're fighting a losing battle. I mean, I had a child that would come into my office with Trump gear on. And he didn't start doing that until after the first debate came out. And after the first debate came out is when our engagement just decreased. And every time he came to me, he became rude. The microaggressions were coming, left and right. If I said something that was not So for instance, if I'm meeting with a kid and they're writing something down and I might say, so what you got? Kind of like, what did you write down? He would do things like pause. You mean, what do I have? And doing things like that would boil my blood. Mm-hmm. And when I would take it to my supervisors who are white, they would say, well, you want to address it and, you know, just confront him about it. And I was like, you know what? I don't have the energy to confront it. I really don't, because it doesn't matter what I say. I'm sitting in front of him as his therapist with 2 degrees. That didn't make a difference to him. He just sees me as a Black person. And I don't know what he's being taught at home, but I don't feel like that was my battle to fight, because I didn't have the energy or the mental capacity to even begin to do that. All that to say, I am so glad he is no longer in office. He is leaving. His eviction notice is set for January 20th. Good riddance, done with you, so that we can move forward. And I mean, of course, there's still work to be done, but I feel like this is a step in the right direction.
Of course.
That was a lot.
And I'm pretty sure all the AKAs is losing their mind, because there's
of course,
Kamala Harris, AKA. So them hairs is about to be out. The pinkies is coming out. All the skiing is happening right now. So they is losing it.
And it's proof to little Black kids that you can do anything you put your mind to. I know we say it all the time, but you can only be what you see. Mm-hmm. And so them seeing her in that position, they're like, oh, okay. So maybe if I'm not into arts, or if I'm not into sports, maybe I can get into politics. Maybe I can get into social work. Whatever that thing is, I think that's also another way to look at it.
I do like that.
Let me make this known that, let me make this known that even although I've only been in Georgia for only like a year and a half now, I am so proud of us. So I really am. And so, like, you know, of course, everyone, if you don't know already, Georgia has officially become a Democratic state. And I'm gonna tell you why. So if you don't know, Stacey Abrams, she basically has been a queen like to us. She basically, like, she pushed the pin really for register over, I think it was like 800,000 voters here in Georgia alone.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So that would remarkably brought the numbers up for the Democratic Party, as you saw. And so, like, literally that Saturday was like impromptu parades over in the city. Like, it was bananas. It was
honking and flags.
Yes,
and
it
everything.
was flags everywhere. It was beautiful. It was a giant celebration that the whole city. Honestly, I'm gonna say state, because Atlanta alone is its own state. If you don't know. So yeah, like I said, all that to say that I am so happy to be a part of that. Like I said, like, although it's only been like still a year and a half short time for me living here, I'm just so happy to, you know, just be a part of that. I was able to vote here for the first time, and it really allowed me to be a part of something huge for just Georgia alone. So yeah, go ahead.
I'm so glad you said that, Trey, because I had a conversation, and I hope she's watching, one of my coworkers, because she was saying how she doesn't vote or whatever because South Carolina's always been Republican, so it doesn't matter. So, and then she said, in history of when America was built, South Carolina has always and will always be Republican. And it just, I think I had to stop the conversation because I was getting so frustrated, because I'm like, people like that is what makes it not change. You know what I'm saying? So for Atlanta to do that, or Georgia to do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you can be red all this time, but if enough people come together and vote, you never know what can happen. So I just thought about that when you said that, Trey.
I mean, that was
one
Black woman that made a remarkable change in one state. You know how, and like, just go back to Dashia's point about you only go by what you see, or you like imagine what you see, you know, being a young man or being a young woman or whatever. You look up to these same people and be like, oh my God, like, this woman, I want to be like, you know, getting into politics. Maybe if I don't want to do hair, maybe if I don't want to be a nurse, I want to be a politician. Mm-hmm. You know? So yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead. Dashia was interrupted like twice. Go ahead.
Sidebar. I don't know if that coworker was white or black. It doesn't really matter to me. But what I was going to say was I watched a video of a preacher who was on Ricky Smiley. My stepdad told me about him, and he was angry about people saying that they don't vote. I think a lot of people fail to realize, and I know you hear this all the time, it's not just about the president, it's about so many different things. One of the things that stood out to me that he said was like, when you vote, it's not about the next 4 years, it's about the next 40 years, right? Because he's putting people in seats that get to serve for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And so if he's putting people in those seats who have the beliefs that he has, then he's likely not going to put, they're likely not going to put laws in place that are going to benefit you and the people that you know and love.
Yeah.
One of those things being like DAs, which would be more of a local thing, right? You have the DA in Kentucky. He's the whole reason why the police officers who killed Breonna Taylor weren't brought to trial. Like that he's the person that makes that decision. So when you don't vote, people like him then get into those positions and things like that continue to happen.
And so people just always got excuses because it's like they were saying, oh, I don't know what this person is for, like what's their purpose and all that. It's like you had all of this time to look it up. So all the local ones we had in Charleston, I didn't know those people either. I didn't everybody know I don't have cable. I'm not paying for cable. It's stupid. I have smart TV and Wi-Fi. I'm finished.
Okay.
But when these stuff started coming to my mailbox, I'm like, okay, let me go and find out their mission statement, what they're about. I took the time to look them up even when I didn't know them. So there's one young man in Charleston, I believe his name is Dion Tedder, if I'm not mistaken, he went to South Carolina State. Looked him up, looked up his stuff, and then not people would think, oh, just because he's black and he went to state. No, it was other black men that was running and all that. I looked them up and I found out what they were about, and I voted based off of that information, not just because they was this person or this person. Like you said, you got to get out and vote for people. Even the small elections count. You're talking about, oh, well, we don't have roads being fixed and this is not happening. Yeah, because the people who have the ability to make those changes, you didn't vote for them to be in there. You just let the city do what they wanted. As far as Charleston, I think out of all of South Carolina, I saw that Charleston and Columbia was blue. And then I'm here in Texas, so all the places that I want to be at is blue. So I'm fine. I'm not worried about other people and their shenanigans, because again, a lot of people want to sit here and cheer and hoorah. Yeah, we got them out. We didn't do anything. You weren't. Don't be. I think I put it on my Facebook. I was like, don't be a voice after when you want a voice during. You didn't help do nothing. And that's, again, can't see who's watching live, but family, if you're on here, to hell with you if you didn't vote. You can go and tell my mama, tell my daddy. I will tell him that I said it because I don't want to hear your lies. Like, I know a lot of people who ain't vote and they in their 40s, 50s, 60s, but yet you want to complain why I gotta pay taxes and why I can't get this check.
Wow.
That's what it is. That is what it is. I don't care about your feelings at all. It just shush. Sit your tail in the bag and be quiet. Let your kids that got an actual brain to think about it do it. And I had a lot of people who was older when I went to go vote. They was like, they stopped me and commended me. They was like, please get more young people out here. Like, we don't see too many of y'all in these lines, and it's just a hurting feeling. I'm like, sir, I understand what y'all mean by talking to you blue in the face, because even me being my age, trying to talk to people my age, nothing. It don't concern me. This ain't got nothing to do with me. And I'm like, wow, you're clearly a jackass. I got nothing else.
The guy that Dashia was talking about, his name is Reverend John Wesley, and we listen to the Ricky Smiley morning show every day, and Ricky Smiley played his sermon. It was like a 2-minute sermon about not voting, and of course he was upset, like Dashia said, and Ricky Smiley played it every hour for a month up until election day. And I highly advise everybody, not just you guys, but everybody, listen to it and get other people to listen to it. And like Dashia said, it's not even just presidents, it's locally too. So Just like how everybody was packed up for the presidential, I need to see people packed up for the locals too, because they have direct impact on what happens in our neighborhood, you know? And I don't think people realize that as much as they should.
All right. Any last thoughts?
I can't cuss like I want to, but F Trump, Gladdy out. Get out. Don't take nothing on the way out. Just leave.
All right. Moving on to more F-boy tendencies. We have a TDE rapper. I forgot his name.
Reason.
Oh, okay. But this is his take on cheating in relationships.
You might just ask that for no reason.
I ask him that.
Really?
I don't go through phones or nothing because I don't want to know. Like,
Charlamagne's wife cheated on him when they
King,
were dating back in the day.
do you want to have these conversations, King?
Nah, we don't.
Okay, King.
Let's let it go.
Right.
He's talking about me being personal.
But what you said is true, right? Because
This guy crazy. I don't know it.
what you said is true because, like, I haven't cheated since October 2016.
That's fire.
And that shit feel like being sober. Like literally,
Bruh,
I
like-
write that down like in my mindfulness
And I
goals.
feel like, and the reason why I say this because I feel like if women gave men credit for that, then men would appreciate it and it would encourage them to not do it more. It's almost like it's just like nigga, okay, and you was being faithful, you supposed to do that. It's like it is a difference, like, and it's just not the same thing.
I feel like it just doesn't come up. If your man isn't cheating on you, then you're not talking about it because everything's fine. Like with that.
True, but I'm just saying, like, if you have a dude and he's faithful, like, I think that, like, you don't necessarily have to say thank you for being
Right,
faithful.
baby, did you cheat
Yeah,
today?
exactly. You don't got to say
Come on.
thank you for being faithful. I'm just saying that
Gold star.
it should be looked at and given credit to. You get what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, because it's like it's something that like is not an easy thing to
It's
do.
hard
for
for women to not cheat too, though. Y'all got to give us credit too.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
There's all
like,
kind of
like it's
offers
not.
of
It's,
Birkin bags flying around and.
some women. I know these Birkin bags.
No more.
Okay.
Why is this a conversation? Why is this a conversation? Why is this a conversation? Why should it be an incentive for you to not cheat? Why be in a relationship? Why just talk? Why just fling? Why just have sex and then let it be that? Why go into a whole relationship and have to think about, whoa, dang, I should get a war because I haven't cheated on you in a week. What the fuck? Like
In a week. Oh man.
Why is this a whole debate right now? I really want to know that.
What bothers me the most is not even the fact that he said it, but the fact that so many people listen to the Breakfast Club. They'll get that mentality and they'll be like, oh, I think he's right. Yeah, he got a point. Oh, my girl ain't thanking me for being faithful. I about to go out here and cheat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That pisses me off.
So when I heard this, it was because of another podcast I listened to called Here's the Thing with Kev on Stage and that chick Angel. So Kev on Stage, he said that used to be his mentality at one point, like the first few years of their marriage. And he thought that because everybody else that they were surrounded by church goers. So let me go ahead and throw that out there. Just because you're in church don't make you a saint. Just because he played the drums does not make him a contender, or because he can, play the organ or drum up a sermon. Just saying, nobody's exempt. So he felt like because everybody in his church was trash, and he's pointing out who's cheated, who's got this wife, who's got this side chick, and all that, that he should, like, he one up everybody else, and that should have just been enough. And I think I don't know why that's a mentality that dudes have. It's just like, oh, well, he's over here doing this and you're getting mad at me because I didn't put the trash out. Am I sleeping with him or am I sleeping with you? I don't give a good goddamn what he doing over there. I didn't ask to be with him. When he asked me, I said no. I'm here with you. So that's just plain and simple. But I'm not gonna give you a freaking cookie if you didn't cheat. Because those of y'all that got kids, I'm pretty sure like you do reward them for doing good, but at a certain point, how many parties are you going to give them because they went and got good grades? That's what the hell I'm paying for, is you to go there and get your grades right. I'm not gonna just keep giving you $100. Oh, I made the honor roll, as opposed to what else? You know the words, like you know them songs, so I wouldn't be surprised. So, but it's not the same with women. Let's see. I've been in, sure, some relationships, whatever. Just let it be what it is. I've had a lot of people say a lot of things to me, no matter how I look, and I'm just like, you're welcome. I'm not one of those people, like he said, females now is Birkin bag, buying this, fly out. Had a lot of that said to me, and I'm like, so not impressed. No, thank you. I do not need a ride home. I sleep by myself. Thank you. I do not need nobody holding me in these cold winter nights. That's why I got heated blankets. Am good. Oh, but people always be looking at you. Okay, so what am I supposed to do about that? You're lucky I didn't go sleep with them. You are welcome. I think females get it more than dudes do.
Oh, definitely.
Especially when you was being told, baby girl, you should smile. It looks better.
I agree with everyone that should be a basic standard, that if we're not in an open relationship, that it's just you and I. But I mean, even with open relationships, people have conversations of like, yeah, we're open, but these are the things that are okay, and then this is what's not okay. So I feel like it should be a basic standard that you're communicating what it is you both expect from each other. Yeah. And also, I do agree with you that I feel like women are hit on way more than guys. I don't know whether that's in person or social media.
Now, social media,
go ahead.
I feel like maybe in person. And the only reason why I say not so much social media, because I feel like, yeah, a guy can hop in a girl DM, but I feel like most girls, at least a lot of people that I know, turn around and like screenshot it and then try to like shame the guy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that kind of stops a lot of guys from attempting that. But in person, yeah, because I feel like you don't really find too many girls like, hey boy, what's up? Let me get your number. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to guys saying that to girls.
I just wish good luck to whoever he is dealing with.
Like, cause I mean, it's based off of watching that, it's like it's competition. Oh, I get hit on. I get on in the week. Oh, you ain't get on in the week or whatever. It's like, well, why even go into a committed relationship? This is why you talk. This is why you have a talking stage or whatever type of stage you have. Like.
Sorry. It's like, let it be known.
Too. I mean, it's like, dang, like it's frustrating how these are the people that, and I'm gonna say it, y'all fall for. These are the people that y'all fall for, but they get mad. Oh, he talking to this other one. Well,
he told you.
You knew what you signed up for. He's acting like this before you got.
You didn't do a cheer for him because he was faithful today.
Right. But you know what, though? I wonder, and I guess we could never answer this question. Charlamagne probably should have asked him this. How often does he need to be rewarded? You know what I'm saying? Like, should it be every day? Like, oh, you didn't cheat on me today. Or should it be every week or monthly basis? You know what I'm saying? Because at what point does she need to be like, okay, well, you didn't cheat on me all month. Let's have a party, Or is it like
toxic? That is toxic.
I'm about to say there's no point in Charlamagne asking because he dropped it into himself. Oh, I haven't cheated since October of 2004. So was I supposed to hoop and holler for something that you're already not supposed to do? Because I'm not. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, that's a good dude because he ain't cheated since 2004. I still don't got it for you. I still don't. Like, I
guess for them,
and like,
if you think about it on their standpoint, because he did compare it to being sober. So say somebody is like using crack, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're not supposed to. It's bad. No, listen, you're not supposed to, but you are sober. So say, oh, I'm 2 months, I'm 2 years crack free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would throw them a party because that's a big
No, my thing is
comparing monogamy
no,
to
no, no,
a hardcore substance.
no. Okay.
No, because somebody, first of all, unless they hold on, pause. There's a such thing as sex addicts, but they were not talking about sex addiction. They were simply talking about someone who cheats, which is two different things. And if someone was a sex addict, then they would go to therapy, much like someone who is has some other form of addiction. They're going to go to therapy as well. You choose whether or not you're going to cheat on somebody.
Exactly.
I hate when people describe that as a mistake. You didn't mistakenly take off your clothes and sleep with that person. I'm sorry. You made a conscious decision to do it.
I never buy that because I've had so many people say that.
I think it's preposterous that he wants a party thrown for not cheating within a week or a month or 2 months. If that's the case, then don't be in a relationship. Just do what you want to do.
Yeah. That trips me out when people say that and be like, oh, cheating was a mistake. It was this. I didn't know I was drunk. Okay, I've been drinking for whatever, as long as I've been drinking. That's nobody's business. But even when I wasn't 100% on what my limit was, as time went on, I knew when I was too late and when it was time to stop. Yeah. I know my limit. So you got people that be out here in their 30s and 40s. Oh, it was a crazy night and I blacked out. That's what you decided to do. That was your goal. You knew somebody was going to be there that has been trying to get with you for the longest, even though you know you're in a relationship. So you are putting yourself in these situations. There is no mistake, like Dashia said, of my drawers just dropping at random.
At random, like
how do I mistakenly do?
No,
I can't even say it. I had somebody that cheated on me. It was like it was a mishap. How did your mouth mistakenly just happen to be there? Like, how did that just mistakenly land on their genitals? Because that is not something that's just up there. It's not. So how did you mistakenly just, you know what? There was no mistake, and I mistakenly did not waste any time cutting them off. And the one time, okay, just like you say, people who do crack, what's the one time thing? Bye, because you're not gonna be stealing money out my purse.
You know what? And now, me personally, I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here, because on the other hand, there are some situations where you are in a relationship and maybe the man or woman doesn't feel appreciated. Maybe the other party is like, they're consumed into something else that's not them, and it's been consistently going on for months and months and months. And you've been trying to get them their attention. You've been trying to do everything you can as a man or a woman to make them love you or to make them like want to be with you. But at the end of the day, they just give me their ass to kiss. I understand in some emotional standpoint where you're gonna not feel wanted, to where this other person comes out of nowhere and makes you feel that way.
I think that's a cop out. I think that is a cop out.
Mm-hmm.
If you are with somebody and they are not available to you, then hey, guess what? Communicate that to that person so that they have an opportunity to fix it. And if y'all have exhausted every option and nothing has changed, then leave. It's not. I mean, it's difficult and it's easier said than done. But if that person is not giving you what you need, you're not happy, then leave the person alone. Don't be with that person.
Anybody might think I'm lying, but that's something I've always tell people. If you feel like you're not happy with me, and like you said, we've exhausted our resources, I'd rather you just break up with me. Because in my head, I'm the type of person, I'm going to keep bringing it up. You cheated on me, I don't care if it was a month or whatever.
Excuse me, guys.
Oh, I was just like gone for 2 hours. What's the big deal? Who was you sleeping with while you was gone for 2 hours? That is my question. Why you gotta act like that? Because you've embedded this in my head. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say at this point. Like, it's there. So I'd rather us no longer talk and be done with it. And if you want to go and have your little hoes out there, you're single to do whatever you want. And I always feel like, I don't know what it is with majority guys where it's always like, oh, I need to go ahead and hoe around now and then become serious in my 30s and 40s. I don't have that.
You can do that without being in a relationship, buddy. You can do that.
I'm not gonna be sitting at home while you are there just like, oh, we good here, but I still got some other stuff I want to try. You could be trying to buy yourself. because I shan't be a part of it.
Any last thoughts on that?
People are trash. I was gonna say just men, but
Okay, well, we're going to continue the theme here.
Right.
Danish people. So, what's his name? NBA YoungBoy? Is that his name?
no. Wait,
What is
is
his
that-
I
name?
was gonna say it too.
Is it him? Are we talking about
Yeah.
Floyd or the other one?
Floyd.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I think that is him. Yeah, NBA young boy.
Listen here, it's a
it's
lot
too
of
many-
alphabet people.
It's too many Youngs, NBAs, Lils. Okay. One of
Y,
the mumble rappers.
X, Y, Z, 1711. It's a lot of them.
Yeah.
1711.
So anyway, NBA YoungBoy is a 21-year-old rapper who is dating Floyd Mayweather's daughter, who's I think like 19. Anyway, she's pregnant with his sixth child, and he went on live and called Floyd Mayweather out of his name. Now, Floyd did an interview with Jason Lee on Hollywood Unlocked, where they just addressed it. They asked him, how do you feel about him calling you out of your name? And he was like, you know, honestly, I feel like it goes back to home and how he was raised, because I taught my kids to respect people, respect your elders, yada, yada, yada. And so after that, NBA YoungBoy's mother then took to social media and was upset and saying, pretty much, it doesn't matter how you raise your children, even if you tell them right from wrong, when they become adults, they get to make those decisions for themselves, which may go against your teachings. But that was the full story in short.
So I saw all that because I like to watch Messy Monday. Thank you, goddamn so. I will be watching it if you post it tonight. So it went all the way back because when they first, what is her name? Yaya, the Floyd's daughter. When they first started talking, some stuff happened. I guess Floyd might have went over there to get her or whatever, because everybody knows the NBA young boy like to beat on his females. And again, he's 21. So I think he came out when he was like 19, 18, something maybe. And that was just the gist of the relationships. Beat on him. I believe he had herpes or chlamydia, some STD, and he had plenty of children. Again, like Dashia said, 6. I think it's probably more because I think there's somebody else claiming to be pregnant by him as well right now.
Yeah.
So the number just keeps climbing. He said a lot of disrespectful stuff on live about Floyd, and she just sat there, quiet, didn't say anything, didn't utter a word. And then she went out and tried to kill somebody else over him, and now I don't even know if she's got a court date for that coming up soon or whatever the case is. Floyd said that he's the one who confirmed that she was pregnant for him. And he was like, you know, that's my daughter. I love her, but she's grown. Once she's out my house, I can't do anything else. Like, there is nothing else I can do. So I feel like he said the same thing that NBA YoungBoy mama said. Like, you can raise them to the best of your ability. Floyd is not a 100% dude. He has not been. He's had his mess ups as well, but it is what it is. But for, like he said, for him to try and fight for her when she ain't saying nothing, it's no point. She's gonna go back to him because that's what she wants to do. So there is no point at all. Honestly, as far as NBA Young Mama go, I feel like she's just one of the mothers that really do just ride for her son for whatever. I don't really see or feel like she's really corrected him or really chastised him through everything else. Because there's a lot of these rappers out here who go up against these little behind girls, arguing about whose money is what, whose house is what, who does what to watch the kids or whatever. A lot of these mothers is doing that. And I'm like, wow. Again, here I am at 25. You would think I got some type of drama going on. And I'm just minding my business like the parents should be doing. But they don't.
Trey, you look like you had something to say.
I had no idea, one, that he had 6 kids.
I honestly really feel like it's more.
I mean, it seems like we got another few. And what? He's only 21.
21.
Well, how old was he for a child? Like,
They're all really little. They're all like toddlers, so they're not old.
Well, I mean, Well, definitely as far as the whole comment that he made about Boosie, like, and I don't know that much about it, to be honest, because I was like, well, did he was there some type of beef between Boosie and NBA YoungBoy to where like Boosie didn't want him dating his dog? I mean, not Boosie. Oh
I
God.
was like, what?
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I was
when
like,
did
I think
Boosie
I
get
missed
into play?
something here, guys.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd
Sorry.
Mayweather, yeah.
But was there some type of beef between the two?
No. I had to go through a lot of ratchet sites and videos, but what it came down to was that Kodak Black, who is currently incarcerated, he threw some kind of shade at NBA YoungBoy, and that was NBA YoungBoy saying, "Hey, my balls are bigger than yours. These are all the things I'm doing. I got this money, I got this crib, I got this car, I got this girl. I take care of her, not her bleep bleep daddy." So he brought Floyd in for no reason. It was just him going on a rant.
Quick question. And yeah, how you doing all this in jail?
Who knows? Who
I
knows?
thought people always find a way to get a phone in jail. I swear.
Okay.
Anyway, I feel like the biggest thing that bothers me about this story isn't even that he said that about Floyd, to be honest. It's more so the fact that I feel like we're normalizing young men kind of spreading their seed around wherever they want to. And like Megan said, his mama kind of being okay and having his back about that and claiming that she has taught him right. Clearly she didn't, if he had 6 kids at 21.
And that's
And
only the people who
he's
got
on
pregnant.
live disrespecting his child's grandfather.
Oh
I mean, his mouth was filthy on that live when he was going off. That piece of the story bothers me. That it's just, I feel like it's just normalized. Like you see memes all the time, like, oh, I'm the third one, or oh, my daddy got all these kids. I mean, even when you talk to people, they'll say, well, I have one sibling on my mama's side, and I got about 10 on my daddy, and then we giggle like it's cute and funny, and it's not funny. Huh?
One of my coworkers just mentioned that today, so I'm like dying laughing right now. But sorry.
But it's crazy though.
No.
And that's everybody who got pregnant. I know we talked about this over the weekend too. Like how he out there, not using protection. You know what I'm saying? And for 6 or maybe 7, 8 people to then get pregnant. Can you imagine how many people he just willy-nilly sleeping with? That's nasty. So for his mom to turn around and say, oh, she raised him right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, I do understand what she's saying. Like, once you're an adult, you do whatever you want to do. I get that. But certain things are legit instilled in you. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like none of us would go off on live about somebody's parent. Like, our parents raised us better than that. Yeah, we are adults, and we do have the free will to do whatever we want to do, but they taught us better than that. So,
again, I got it's a lot of adults, exes, parents, stuff that I did not like, I did not agree with, but I didn't say anything. I'm like, listen, that's how you feel. I ain't got to talk to your child no more. I really don't care. But you're going to still do what you're doing for them, and they're still going to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Again, like you said, who is it? It's like, I feel like it's a good grip of these new rappers that came up. Because another one is Blueface. He'll go out here, do all these stuff for these girls and everything, or talk about these girls. And then the next thing, like in the next second, I think he was the one who kicked his mama and his sister out the house so he can have his 2 girlfriends live there. And it's like, well, I didn't raise him like this. And it's like, well, honey, you still go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you still let it be a thing. NBA is barely, like, he just barely became legal. Like, you're 21. And again, you already got 6, possibly a 7th on the way. Because like I said, there's another girl claiming to be pregnant by him right now.
It could be another DMX with 15 kids.
Like, my God, at some point, my thing is when, and I'm not going to just say young girls because you still got grown females too. What is it in females' minds that know how a dude is because they heard about him in the past relationship? And this is a public thing because he's a public figure. You've seen that he's physically be on the girl in the hotel and dragged her, and she comes out there talking about, oh, we was just playing, talking about what is her name? Like Trail or Rail. I bet you couldn't pull me. I bet you couldn't pull me. I'm like, girl, that was your excuse. No, honey, he was literally dragging you in that hotel hallway. It wasn't a game, it was a thing that happened. You have other people that have made it known through tests that he contracted an STD. And y'all are still like, oh my God, he's fine. You do realize that if somebody has something and they're not being serious about it, getting cleaned up, it can become 10 times worse either with them or with you. And now you're upset because things are just not going the way you want them to go. You think that he's not going to get a crazier girl that's not going to want to kill you over him. Again, that's what happened with Yaya. The previous girlfriend, she got upset because they was talking, they was together. She tried to go and stab the girl, or she did stab the girl.
That's sad.
What
I
is
know
so
it takes I
special
know it
about
takes
this
two
boy?
to tango, but I don't want to place a lot of that responsibility on women because it's how are these dudes being raised? Clearly, he has a lot of internal turmoil happening that he is not dealing with and addressing. Therefore, he's going out. I almost said something. I'll use a different term. He's going out and not being safe and creating life with people he does not plan to spend a life with. And that is a problem.
And I'm not saying to put all the blame on female, but again, we are the givers of life. Like life has to come through us. So what is it in your mind that's just like, I've seen exactly how he is, and I'm still going to lay down and sleep with him?
I think that goes back to conversations we've had in the past where we've talked about relationships and your parents teaching you. Your parents are your first teachers of how to love, correct? We're talking about Floyd Mayweather's daughter. We've seen the videos of Floyd Mayweather, how he has women here, there, everywhere with him. She grew up seeing that, and so maybe she thinks that, oh, that is the norm. That's just what dudes do.
Okay, now for her,
Therefore,
yes, I got that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, when he went on that interview, you're talking about, he tried to make it seem like whomever he's talking to now, like everything's just peachy keen, he's perfect. And I'm like, sir, we've heard your name come up a lot with Miss Harris. So let's not act like that wasn't a thing. You've had other issues prior to that with other females. So yes, you do have a hand to play in that. You really don't have anything to say. Like you can try, but you've already, like you said, set the stone, the layout for how she's going to see people. Do I feel bad for her? Yes, I do. Because again, I don't even know how old she is. Is she like 19, 20?
19.
Like you are literally just throwing your life away on the hopes of things will go your way because of who your daddy is and who you slept with. Like that's really the end all be all. Nobody really knows you besides those 2 points. And again, those are two trash individuals. So it's a lot. But Godspeed to all these young women that's just with these alphabet soup people and what they got going on. Yeah, because there's so much. What is it like? I don't think he's got anything bad, but YBN, Corday, YFN, Lucci, why not do this? It's just so many Ys. So many Ys, so many NFs and stuff. And I'm just like, why are you not listening to them? Because I don't know how to spell, obviously.
Any other thoughts?
No, ma'am.
All right. So I have been Dashia D. We didn't introduce ourselves in the beginning.
I have been Cassondra.
I have been Tre'Dub.
And I have been the birthday girl that's still awaiting my Cash App stuff. LadiiNova.
We are YBM Chat, Young Black Millennials. You have just joined us in our Chit Chat live. You can also join us every Monday.
Like,
subscribe,
comment,
and guess us up.
You can find us on Instagram, YBM Chat Podcast, YouTube, YBM Chat Podcast, and then Facebook. Obviously, you're here. So go ahead and like, subscribe, comment. I'm not going to say the last piece of that. Thank you for joining. All right.